welcome to class. This is a chair yoga class ideal for people that have low vision. First, I want you to just get comfortable in your chair. You might have arms on your chair. I'm sitting in a folding chair, so you might not have arms, and either of those is fine, and I'll give instructions for both. So just take a moment, maybe feeling kind of along the sides of your chair, what there is or is not to kind of hold on to, or feeling how you can grab near your seat. And maybe just also taking a moment, running the hands up the back of the chair behind you. And again, just kind of getting comfortable with what's behind you and where you might be able to grab or hold on to your chair. So you just have a little kind of familiarity with what you're sitting on as we move through our session. And then we'll start our session by letting your hands relax into your lap. Your hands could rest on your thighs. You could clasp your hands and have them in your lap, but just something that feels comfortable. Have both feet flat on the floor and try to line your feet up underneath your knees. Sit up nice and tall, so you're not using the back of your chair, not leaning against the back of your chair, but using the core muscles, using your back muscles to find this tall seat. Your eyes could stay open or you could gently close them, but in either case, relax the face, relax your jaw. Feel like you're trying to make your face completely expressionless. And then focus on just taking a few mindful breaths here. Noticing the inhale as it comes in, and noticing the exhale as it floats back out. And just take these few quiet moments to notice the breath, notice any sensation in your body. And let's take a couple breaths here together. We'll inhale through our nose and take big releasing exhales, big sighs out through our mouth. So let's start by breathing in through our noses together. And a big exhale out. And a big inhale in through your nose. And a big sigh out through your mouth. And one more time, a deep inhale in. And a big exhale out. Close the eyes. You could flutter them open, but try to keep that nice relaxed face. And let the arms come down along your sides, maybe outside of the arms if you do have arms on your chair. And then simply reach the arms around and up overhead. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then float the arms right back down along your sides. And again, reach the arms out, around, and up. Reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. And then reach the arms right back down along your sides. And this next time we'll add on, so reach the arms out, around, and up. And then with the arms overhead, shrug the shoulders up around the ears, like you're kind of hiding your neck. And then let the shoulders relax back down your back. And then again, shrug the shoulders up around the ears. Relax them back down. And last time, shrug the shoulders up. And then allow the shoulders to relax down your back, coming away from the ears. And then now we're going to bend our left elbow, and you're going to bring your left hand like you're patting yourself on the back or touching the back of your neck. So that left elbow bends, the hand comes behind me. Again, either patting yourself on the back or touching the back of your neck. And then your right hand comes onto the elbow, onto your left elbow to kind of help with this stretch. So maybe it's like you're crawling the left fingers a little further down your back, kind of in between the shoulder blades or further down the back of your neck. And notice if you brought your chin forward or if you moved your head forward, can you keep your head and neck neutral in this position? Notice if your rib cage, if your the front of your body is starting to reach a little forward and up, and can you kind of neutralize the front ribs so it feels like you're just still seated nice and tall. You're breathing into that left shoulder. Let's take a big inhale here and a big exhale. And then you can release both arms overhead once more, so reaching back up towards the ceiling. And then bend the right elbow. So the right hand again comes either to the back of your neck or in between your shoulder blades, kind of touching the upper back. And now my left hand comes to the right elbow again, kind of assisting and helping with this stretch. Trying to keep your head and neck neutral. So again, if you find that you sort of displace the head and neck a little forward, can you let them be nice and neutral? Can you let your torso, the rib cage, be nice and neutral? Again, as we're breathing here into our shoulder, noticing the stretch on the opposite arm. Again, just making sure both of your feet are flat on the floor here. Your knees are lined up over the feet, so we feel that solidity. We feel nice and grounded. We feel our rear end, the back of our thighs, resting on the seat. So we're really kind of just aware of where our whole body is in space right now. And then you can release your left hand from the right elbow, reach the arms back up towards the ceiling, and then float the hands right back down to your lap and let your arms relax for a moment. And again, this is a nice place for a breath in and a breath out. Now from here, we're going to take a twist. So the left hand is going to start to reach behind you. It might reach towards the back of the arm of your chair, or you might hold on to the back of your chair. And your right hand is going to reach towards your left knee or thigh, and we start to twist our torso or upper body towards the left. So I'm trying to sort of open my chest towards the left side of the room. And again, the left hand can either rest on the back of the chair, or again along the left side of the chair. And the right hand rests on the left knee or thigh, and we can use that as a little leverage to help with the twist. And then walk your hands back through center, coming back where we started. And let's do the same thing to the right. So the right hand is going to reach behind me again, maybe to the side of my chair, maybe to the back of the chair, depending on what you can grab a hold of easily. And the left hand reaches towards the right knee or thigh. Then I'm twisting my upper body towards the right. So I'm trying to kind of open up my chest to the right side of the room. Still sitting up nice and tall here, even as I twist. Then you can release the back of the chair and just return back to center, hands in your lap, back where we started. We'll come into a side stretch now. So you can bring your right hand, again, either onto the arm of your chair, if your chair has an arm, or to the right side of your chair's seat. And then your left arm is going to reach out to the left and then all the way up to the ceiling. And my left palm is going to face towards the right side of the room. Feel like you're gluing the left side of your butt into your chair and reaching the left fingers a little taller, like you could touch the ceiling, and then start to reach the left arm over to the right. So again, be aware of your left foot on the floor, be aware of the left side of your rear end, the left back of your thigh on the chair as you're reaching that left arm over to the right. And we're just using that right hand to stabilize ourselves either on the arm of the chair or the right side of the chair's seat so that we can reach and feel that side bend nice and long along the left side. And then make your way back up. That left hand can come down again, either onto the arm of your chair or onto the left side of your chair's seat. My right arm can reach out to the right and then up towards the ceiling. My right palm is facing to the left side of the room. The right back of my thigh, the right side of my rear end, my right foot, all really firmly stabilized. So my right fingers can reach and grow a little taller, like I'm trying to touch the ceiling. And then my right fingers start to reach over to the left. So again, I get this side bend. Stabilizing myself with the left arm, making sure I stay in the chair. The right foot, the back of your right thigh, right side of your rear end, all firmly rooted so that that right arm can reach up and over. And then we can come back up to sit nice and tall. Both hands can return to your lap. And let's just take again a mindful breath here, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now let's combine the twists and the side stretch. We'll start by coming into the twist. So the left hand is going to reach either to the back of your chair or to the armrest of your chair, depending on what you have. And the right arm reaches to your left knee or thigh, and we twist. So I'm twisting, trying to sort of open my chest to the left side of the room. Now my right hand is going to stay where it is. And I'm going to start to reach my left arm. I'm going to release my left arm and reach it up to the ceiling. So my chest is still kind of facing over to the left side of the room, but my left arm is going to reach up to the ceiling, and then my left arm starts to reach over to the right. So I'm finding that twist and side bend at the same time. I'm going to take one more breath here. And then I'll come back up to a nice tall spine. My left hand returns to my lap, right hand returns to the lap, and back to center facing forward. And let's do the same thing to the opposite side. So the right hand either reaches to the arm of the chair or maybe holding on to the back or side of your chair. The left hand comes to the right thigh or right knee, and we start to twist to the right. So my chest is opening to the right side of the room. I'm kind of twisting from my belly button all the way up. So again, we're going to maintain this twist. That's going to stay the same. So my twist doesn't change, but my right hand releases from the arm or the back of the chair, wherever I had it. I reach my right arm straight up to the ceiling, nice and tall, and then start to reach the right arm, again, up and over to the left. So I find that side stretch, even though I'm still twisting, and my chest is still kind of facing over towards the left side of the room, and toward the right side of the room. Apologize. We'll take one more breath here. And then we can just make our way back up to sit nice and tall. Just slowly let the hands return to your lap, coming back to center. And again, take a big breath in through your nose and a big breath out through your mouth. Now from here, you can scoot a little forward in your chair. So you can kind of walk your hips a little forward in your chair. I'm still sitting really firmly on my chair. So I still feel very connected to the chair. I'm not kind of perched at the edge of it. I know I'm not going to roll off the chair. My feet walk a little forward as well so that my feet stay under the knees. But then you're going to spread your knees nice and wide. So definitely a little wider than the chair, kind of as wide as you can go. My toes are pointing a little out to the side, so my knees and my toes are kind of pointing in the same direction. And then my hands come to rest on my thighs just above my knees, and my elbows are a little bent, my elbows kind of pointing out to the sides. And you're going to start to lean your chest forward, so you're kind of bringing your torso parallel to the mat. And then you can press your hands into your thighs and come back up to sit. So it's almost like we're in this wide kind of squat. Right? So my knees are open nice and wide, hands on the thighs, and we're going to do that same thing one more time. So I just start to lean my torso forward. Really simple here. So my feet are really pressing into the floor, my rear end, my thighs still connecting to the chair. And I lean forward just as far as I feel comfortable. So I get into the hips a little bit and then back up to sit. And then we're going to add on this time. So same thing, my hands are still on my thighs, my knees and thighs are still open out to the sides, so nothing's changing there. I'm going to lean my torso forward, and then I'm going to start to do a little bit of a shimmy here. So I'm going to roll the head of my left shoulder forward. So kind of turning my left shoulder down and in towards the floor. And then I come back to center. My torso still leaning a little forward, and I roll the head of the right shoulder down and in towards the floor. Back to center, and I'm going to go side to side like that a few more times. So turning the left shoulder in, like I'm trying to move the top of my left shoulder down towards the floor. Back to center. My right shoulder comes forward again, a little down towards the floor. Back to center, and one more time each side. rolling that left shoulder forward and down, back to center, and rolling the right shoulder forward and down, back to center, and then we can come all the way back up to sit. You can walk your feet towards each other once more. So now my hips and my knees are in line with each other. My knees are lined up right over my feet. You might scoot back in the chair a little bit here. Again, just kind of getting yourself nice and solidly on the seat of your chair, very aware of where we are in space, very aware of being balanced on our chair. And now we're going to bring our outer right ankle on top of your left knee. So your outer right ankle on top of your left knee. So some people, choose to sit like this. So crossing my outer right ankle on top of the left knee, the left thigh. And then I use my right hand on the inner right knee. And I'm just going to very gently press my right knee down a little bit, a little closer to the floor. My left knee is still lined up right over my left ankle. So again, my left foot is on the floor, nice and solid. I feel my rear end kind of pressing down into the chair. We're sitting up nice and tall from there. And then again, I'm using my right hand, just gently pressing a little down on the right knee. So you can keep that very gentle, very loving pressure, keeping your back nice and straight, starting to lean a little forward here. It's going to intensify that stretch in the right hip. Keeping my shoulders relaxed, leaning the torso forward. This might be a really small movement for some of us, and some of us might come further forward. So it just depends on what you feel, especially if this is newer to you. Starting nice and slow. We'll take one more breath here. And then you can press into your left foot. Slowly come back up to sit. And you can uncross your right foot, bring it back down to the floor. And we'll change legs. So the outer left ankle is going to come on top of your right knee or your right thigh. So outer left ankle on top of right knee or right thigh. So again, some people, choose to sit like this. This is a familiar position for some of us. I'm sitting up nice and tall. My right knee is lined up right over my right foot, so I feel really solid in that right leg. And my left hand gently presses on that inner left knee, just kind of gently pressing the left knee down towards the floor. And again, for a lot of us, that's already going to bring some sensation into the left hip. I know I already feel that in the hip. Really sitting up nice and tall. And then you can start to lean your torso forward. So I'm trying to keep my back straight as I start to lean forward. So it's almost like my chest is kind of leading the charge here. Again, some of us might come further forward. Some of us find that we don't come forward very far before we feel a lot of sensation. And again, you're just listening to what this feels like in your body. One more breath here. And then making our way back up to sit. You can uncross your left leg, let your left foot return to the mat. And again, just take a moment, feet on the floor, hands in your lap, take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then I'm just going to turn to the side so that if you are kind of following along visually, this will be easier to see, but I'll still be very descriptive. So I'm going to start by simply extending my right leg forward. So extending my right leg forward. So my right foot comes off the floor. I'm going to bring my hands around the back of the right thigh and just lift the right leg any amount so that we start to get a little bit of a stretch here through the back of the leg. So I'm sitting up nice and tall. My left foot is still on the floor to help to give me some stability. I straighten my right leg forward. My hands are along the back of the right thigh. And I'm using my hands to kind of lift the right leg any amount. You might feel that stretch along the back of your thigh. Let's take one more breath here. And then you can bend the right knee, release the back of the right thigh, your right foot comes down to the floor, and we extend the left leg forward. So I start to reach my left foot forward, lifting that foot off the mat. My hands come around the back of the left thigh or knee, kind of whatever you could hold on to here. And I just use my hands, bending the elbows a little bit to start to lift the leg. So you're straightening it as best you can. Sitting up nice and tall, so we're not sort of rounding in the back here, really keeping a tall, straight spine. And again, now my right foot is on the floor, helping to give me some stability. One more breath here. And then you can start to relax that left leg, bend the left knee, bring your left foot back down to the mat. I'm just turning my chair forward once more. So coming to sit up nice and tall, you can actually scoot a little back in your chair here. If at this point, if you want to start using the back of the chair a little bit, if you're getting a little tired, if you need to lean back, no problem. We're going to finish out just a couple more stretches. And we're going to start really simply. You can just hold your arms up along your sides. You could be bent at your elbows with your arms up along your sides. And we're just going to start to roll the wrists. So the position of your arm doesn't matter too much. Just start to make some circles with your wrists. Now I like to let my fingers be loose for the first few circles here. Circling around at the wrist, you might hear a little pop, a couple little pops and cracks. And then you're just going to change the direction of the circles. One or two more circles. And then you can give your hand just like a gentle little shake. So it's kind of like if you washed your hands in like a public restroom and then you're looking around to see like where there's paper towels or where the hand dryer is, and you give your hands just that little shake to kind of help dry them while you're looking around. Shake that out. And then you're going to make fists with your hands. So curling the fingers and then hugging your thumb around your fingers, and then you're making circles with your hands in the fists. And I always find that it feels just a little bit different when we have our hands fisted like that. So you might notice that it feels a little different here from the first time. So a few circles in one direction, and then a few circles the opposite direction. One more circle. And then again, you can release the fists. And again, that gentle little fling, just kind of shaking the hands along the ends of the wrist, kind of shaking that out. And then you can let your hands return back to your lap. And from here, we'll do one last thing. Again, kind of focusing on our joints. Cross your right outer ankle on top of your left knee. So we're back in this seated position. But this time I want to leave a little space. I want to be able to move my right foot and my right ankle. And then same thing here, you're just going to make some circles with your ankle. Circling my foot around, making those circles at the ankle, a few circles in one direction, and a few circles the opposite direction. And then you can let your foot become still. And we will take that hip stretch one more time here. So again, just making sure that your left knee is right over your left foot or your left ankle. Your right hand can come onto the right knee and help press it down just a little closer to the floor and come to sit up nice and tall. So really feel your seat on the seat of your chair and sit up nice and tall. And then if you like, keeping the back straight, you can start to lean a little forward. Again, just kind of repeating this stretch because this is such a nice stretch for the hips, especially if you find that you're seated for a lot of your day. And then you can come back up to sit, nice and tall. You can uncross your right leg, bring your right foot to the mat. And again, now we'll cross the left ankle on top of the right knee, the right foot. Again, make sure the right knee is over your foot and ankle. It just gives us stability, really lends us to sitting nice and tall in the chair. And again, we want to be able to move our left ankle. So we just start by circling the left foot around a few times in one direction. And if you find that there's not a lot of movement here, that's okay. It's why we do this movement. And you can change the direction, circling the opposite way. Rolling out the ankle. And then you can let your foot become still. Use your left hand on the inner left knee, gently pressing the left knee down a little closer to the floor. So noticing how it wants to rise up, encouraging it to move down towards the floor, sitting up nice and tall. If that's enough sensation for you, you could stay here. And of course, you can start to keep your back straight and lean the torso forward as well, if that feels good for you. Coming into that hip stretch one last time. And then come back up to sit. And you can uncross the left leg. So taking a moment here, you might scoot back in your chair again a little bit. You could use the back of your chair if you like. You can let your hands rest in your lap, maybe one hand on each thigh, or the hands might be interlaced in your lap, whatever feels good for you. And this time again, you can use the back of the chair so we can relax into the chair a little bit. Your feet could come forward or you could move them back, just kind of whatever feels comfortable in your seat. Take a moment to relax your shoulders. So this is where we would take our Shavasana, or a little rest at the end of our session. You might allow the eyes to close. You might prefer to keep the eyes open, either is fine. But try to relax the face once more, making your face expressionless. And giving yourself just these few moments of quiet, noticing your breath, feeling the breath come in and lifting the chest and the belly, and feel the breath coming out, deflating the chest and the belly. We'll take one or two more breaths here on our own. And then if you close the eyes, you could float them open again. We'll end our session just taking one big breath together, just like we did at the beginning of our class. A breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. So when you're ready, a big breath in and a big sigh out. Thank you for joining me for class, and have a great rest of your day.